Hello and welcome to Howard's Cave of Wonder. I'm Chris, aka Howard Blues, here welcoming you back down to my Cave of Wonder. And it's still a nice, beautiful Sunday morning outside, and I have another campaign to explore, this time on GameFound, and this time for a much different game, a game called Threshold. But we'll chat about that here in just a sec. If you are new to the channel, thank you for tuning in, taking the time. I know I'm a small YouTube channel creator, but I always appreciate anybody who checks us out. If you've never been with me on one of these, I have no advanced knowledge or copy on the game. This is me pulling up the campaign page and looking at it for the first time, and you are seeing my actual live reactions to what's being presented. And in the end, I'm not trying to tell you whether to back or not to back. What I'm just saying is, based off what I see, am I interested enough that I might research further to see if it should fit down here in my cave into the collection? Or am I going to pass? There's so many games, so many campaigns out there. I can't dive deep into all of them. So these first impressions, these first views of a page are kind of my guiding stone. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect with this. There have been games I've done this for, and they've turned out to be massive hits. And I just have kind of had to say, I'm sorry, I didn't pick that up. Then maybe I'll try and pick it up later, or if it ever comes back for an expansion. So it's a little bit of a shoot, but today we're looking at Threshold, a game that in the advertisements I saw for it just said that it's kind of like World of Warcraft and a bit like Gloomhaven and kind of all these other large open world adventure type game systems. And I kind of would like to add something like that to my collection. So could Threshold be the game for me? Let's take a look at the page and see how interested I become in it and how interested you become. Let's look at the page. Threshold by Open Owl Studios. Threshold is a solo and cooperative game of epic proportions, deep character customization, and strategic combat set in an immersive world. Okay, so they reached their goal in 27 minutes, 34 seconds. Again, that's a stat I often argue. I don't know that it means anything. They had a goal of 50,000. And so far, they're saying at about 435,385. A little over 1,300 backers, and 19 days left at time of recording. So still some time for people to get in on this. Let's scroll down and see what we can find. What do we got here? So the project story said Open Owl Studios. Player count 1 to 4. Playtime 60 minutes. That's pretty short for an immersive game. I'm wondering if that's 60 minutes per session. We'll find out more. Age 14 up. Category, it's a board and card game with tags such as fantasy, exploration, strategy, models, video game theme, adventure, deck building, cooperative, multiplayer, asymmetric, campaign, and narrative. It also qualifies for their stretch pay system, so you can pay for it over time. So we get some character art of our heroes. I will say, I do dig the art. It's got a very nice Legend of Zelda kind of art style to it. when I've seen it in the ads and just looking at this, it's got kind of some of those themes, but maybe matured up a little bit. Maybe not quite as cartoony as Legend of Zelda, but yeah. Threshold. Threshold is a massive open-world role-playing game that blends tactical card-based combat, deep character customization, endless loot, and a living world that responds to your choices. Like I said, from 1 to 4 players. We're going to look at the board state. I say this is the board state because it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on here. Find out more. 30 to 90 minute sessions. Okay, so that's a little bit different than 60 minutes. Ages 13 up. What is it? 14 or 13? Solo co-op gameplay. Okay. Explore vibrant regions. Complete quests solo or cooperatively. Harvest and craft powerful gear. Brave dungeons. Or test your skill in high-level raids. If you've played any MMO, this game comes the closest to that experience I have ever seen in a board game. So, looks like we're going to get some feedback from other reviewers throughout. It's cool. I like the little bat thing. It's wearing a scarf. It's kind of cool. Why back now? That's a great question. You will receive a free gift, an alternative masked imp enemy miniature, and expanded masked imp enemy cards. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Again, I love the kind of the art style of this. You can kind of see it on the card, but even on the miniature, it has a very, very Legend of Zelda theme to it, which I'm jiving with. Lowest price. Your pledge during the campaign is the guaranteed lowest price Threshold will ever be offered. Retail copies, if any, will be priced higher, and many upgrades will not be available outside of this campaign. There are exclusive add-ons. Certain expansions, miniatures, and deluxe upgrades are GameFound exclusive add-ons. Backing now is the only way to secure them, and you unlock stretch goals. By backing now, you directly shape the scope of Threshold and help the community unlock even more epic content. First time crowdfunding, learn more. So there's again, just another kind of shot of that masked imp guy. That's cool. How to play. Great. Let's talk to me. Explore. Move across the overworld map, visit towns, uncover secrets, and choose your path. Every region is alive with quests, encounters, and events that react to your decisions. Okay. Battle. Engage in fast tactical card-driven combat in a hex-grid map. Use your customized deck to strike, block, cast spells, or support allies. Positioning, timing, and teamwork decide the outcome. Okay, so card-based combat. And you can kind of see it in the... I should come up here just a little bit. You can kind of see it in the graphics here. Some of these cards look to be fairly text-heavy. Which my only downside to that is my kids are little, so it's going to definitely be a while before they can play this game with me, which is sad. Progress. Win or lose combat. Every session matters. Earn loot dice. Craft and upgrade gear. Gain experience points. Unlock new skills and grow your deck. Your hero evolves with each adventure and battle. Okay. What's in the box? There's 50 plus hours of content here. So a lot. Again, we're getting a nice view of the game state. Man, there looks like there's a lot going on. This is definitely a meaty game. What's interesting in this is I don't see quite the open world that you saw in the videos up top, and it might just be that board is not shown, but like this is a different kind of regional hex sort of thing. So I don't see it. Maybe it's one of these up here. Yeah. Interesting. What's in the box? Mystic class miniature standee class board, 25 class cards. We have the Guardian class miniature standee class board, 25 class cards. The Hunter class miniature standee. Okay. And then I'm guessing that one's the Alchemist class, which is the same. The Fractured Isles, 1 dual-layered region board, 1 double-sided combat board, 20 Quest cards, 30 adventure cards, 8 renown cards, 15 title cards, 1 region book. And then the Sandstone Desert, it looks like these are very similar to the Red River Valley. Oh, this takes place in the Red River Valley, North Dakota, representing. Gosh, I didn't know that Fargo would appear in a game like this. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Red River Valley is eastern part of our state, so I couldn't help myself. And we have the Alchemist class, and we got these 2 new class things. So it looks like there's maybe 2 characters that haven't been unlocked stretch goal wise. So interesting. Region tray, region dice, custom loot dice. We got item cards, 4 character trays, 4 dual layered character boards, 1 progression pad with 40 sheets, 60 clear affixes and sleeves. We got fiend enemies, sentinel enemies, bandit enemies, skill cards, new enemy family. Okay. Additional cards, relics, moons, burden, wound, threshold, vocation, jewel fragment. So some more new enemy and elite enemy, card storage box, tokens. A whole lot of tokens. I'm not going to read through all those. Enemy storage tray, enemy bag, 1 double-sided threshold dungeon combat board, 4 double-sided individual combat boards, an encounter book, a rule book. Yeah, a bunch of tokens. I'm wondering how much of this is it stuff that they're not sharing because it's a surprise, it's a secret for you to later find out in the game, or is it stuff to be unlocked? But there's a lot. Unlocked stretch goals. End game, expand encounter book, ether tokens, title cards, item imbuements, progression pad, 12 sentinel enemy cards, 12 fiend enemy cards, 12 bandit enemy cards, beast enemies, so 7 standees, 7 health tokens, 6 enemies. Okay, so yeah, that kind of, as I said, looks like they're unlocking new things. So some beast enemy cards, 8 class cards, and 24 skill cards. Choose your hero. Okay, so let's learn some more about these heroes. Choose your hero. The Mystic, a deft spellcaster mastering arcane power. Mystic, standee, and token. So, a nice miniature. Looks detailed. I like this one because it looks like it's an actual cast. These look just like it's the 3D rendering of them, which I'm not always the biggest fan of 3D rendering, but it's a cool looking miniature. I like this whole kind of mystic user, the leaves and wind. It's cool. Be a fun thing to paint. And then we got their class board tray, health, fatigue, and wound tokens. So let's see all of that stuff. Progression sheets, 25 mystic class cards. The Guardian, a steadfast protector wielding sword and shield. We have the Guardian miniature. Again, cool looking miniature. A lot of details to it. I like the same bases they're on too. That's very nice. Class board tray, health, fatigue, wound tokens. Yep, so kind of the same as the other. So we'll just kind of quickly go through these. We got the Hunter, armed with a quiver of magical imbued arrows. All right. Oh yeah, little lizard on one of the columns. That's cool. The Alchemist, creating restorative elixirs and unstable compounds. Alchemist, standee and token. So, very kind of cool. I like the fact that he's got all those bottles and vials and fun stuff that you can kind of paint up. Very detailed miniature, I gotta say that. So, we kind of have all that. 2 new heroes. We've added more heroes. You won't see concept art yet because these additions are completely new. So we got Hero 1 and Hero 2. And the outlines are characters from up above, so nothing there. We have Fight the Enemy. We have the Fiends, corrupted beasts born from fire and chaos. So these are the masked standees. So we have 4 masked imp cards, 2 masked demon standees. Okay. Then we got the masked judge. It kind of looks like they evolve, kind of like Pokemon. The sentinels. Okay. Ancient construct, stone and essence. So there's the calcified fairy. Okay. The crumbling guardian. The shattered sentinel. And we get into the bandits. Raiders, mercenaries, and cutthroats. So we got thieves. We got brutes. We got a warlord on a dragon-esque thing. Cool. Cool cards. Then we got the beasts. New enemies added by stretch goals. So we have the winged wisp. And we got... Can't quite... Looks like something warden. And then here we got what looks like the midnight serpent. Something along those lines. I'm trying to read. They unfortunately put the things over it to kind of block what they're called. But I mean, again, that's a cool Hydra-esque monster. 8 new enemy types. We've added more enemies. You won't see concept yet because these additions aren't completely new. So we have 4 minions, 2 champions, and 1 boss. Cool. Examples, silhouette, art, and design to be determined. Family 2. So yeah, we're kind of getting into that. We got our encounter book. One thing I will say, having looked at all these, I want a little bit more. I'm a little sad that there's only really 4 classes. I get that there's 2 new ones, but I want a little bit more. Just for the variety. I get that this is kind of a game where you choose your thing and you stick with it. But even with the enemies that they have, and I'm guessing that the different combat and scenarios could make it different, but I'm a little worried. 50 hours plus gameplay, and it feels like you're going to end up fighting the same things and grinding through them again and again and again. Which to me could get dull. So I'm hoping that there's more stuff unlocked because the boards look beautiful. So those are the 3 double-sided region combat boards. We have our 1 double-sided threshold combat board. 4 double-sided individual combat boards. Okay. 15 enemy status tokens, 4 combat round markers, 30 block tokens, 6 objective tokens, 6 objective health tokens. And then there's kind of the tray, drawbreak, explore the world, fractured isles. So this is the dual layered region board. And you can see the artwork is in progress. Interesting. Region book artwork in progress. Home invasion on the threshold. So those look to be quest cards. And we have renown cards. Ironheart. Gain a wound. Reward. Gain title Ironheart. Okay. So I'm guessing things that you do get you those cards. There's adventure cards, title cards. Then we have Sandstone Desert. I'm going to guess very similar. There's Ransom Note. Oh no, who got kidnapped? We'll have to find out later. So yeah, it looks like a lot of repeat stuff. Red River Valley, lush forests and winding rivers filled with mysteries. Does not describe the Fargo, Grand Forks areas at all. It should be flat and farm fields. Barrier breaking, billow, Red River region. Okay, so yeah, kind of the same things, just different. World map, artwork in progress, memory tokens, 80 coins, 10 completed tokens, 2 boss tokens, 8 mob tokens, 4 chest tokens, 10 quest tokens. And again, a tray kind of for keeping regions saved. Upgrade your hero. Items. Each item has unique stats, and there are dozens of pieces of artwork. So 16 common dice, 90 common items, everything from an old cloak to 16 uncommon dice, 60 uncommon items. We have a polished staff, mystic robe. We got 8 rare dice, 45 rare items, the spirit amulet, the precision belt. Okay. 15 relic items and 15 relic character cards. Okay. Interesting. And then card sleeves. Oh, no. 60 clear affixes and sleeves. So, yes, you get card sleeves, but these are... Okay, so these are what they meant by affixes. They're kind of a transparent card that you can use to add rules to stuff. Cool. Skill cards. The core box contains 2 sets of each skill so that multiple characters can specialize in it. 14 edges skill cards, so shield allies and stand on an unbreakable wall. So they're, again, showing you some of these different things from guard, shield strike, wildfire, backdraft. I'm guessing that's kind of the magic. 14 pyromancy skill cards, channel flame and incinerate everything before you. Definitely what my wife would play. She is the pyro of the family. 14 brutality skill cards, crush foes through raw, unrestrained power. 14 resilience skill cards, recover, restore, and endure when all others fail. And 14 bulwark skill cards, endure punishment and outlast every opponent. 14 reflex skill cards, evade danger, encounter with perfect timing. 14 nature skill cards, command the wild, find strike. 14 momentum skill cards, build speed to unleash unstoppable attacks. 14 sharp shot skill cards, hit hard, hit fast from any range. 14 bladecraft skill cards, master precise flowing strikes with deadly grace. 14 conjuration skill cards, summon ethereal weapons and delayed arcane power. And 14 ward weaving skill cards, shape protective magic into barriers and strategy. So a lot of things, and you can see there's a lot of cards, so we could be here for an hour if I sat and read through all of these. So go check out the page if you want to look at them more closely, but it looks like there's a lot of stuff. And then there's additional cards, 64 boon cards. So these are, I think, are things that kind of give you a boost. There are burden cards and wound cards. So I'm guessing those kind of go into your deck and then they show up as you're trying to go through combat and make stuff difficult. Like this push your limit, I just reading it. Start turn, draw 1. And a turn, suffer 2 direct damage for each card in your hand. So, crafting. So it looks like you can make stuff. 40 vocation cards, 15 jewel fragments, 40 supply tokens, 20 essence tokens, 40 mineral tokens. And then there's a card storage box. Cool. Then you can get 15 more hours of content with The Last Stand, the Ridgeback Mountain expansion. Seemingly impregnable walls will be put to the test. So again, new region board, new region quests, book, cards, renown cards, adventure cards, title cards, relic ability cards, 5 relic items, and a new combat board. Enemy family. So there will be a new enemy in here. In the depths, a new enemy emerges. So there's an infernal shell. We know what that one's called. We don't know what the others are. They look pretty cool. There's the standees for them. And their cards. Plus 2 new minions. Because they still have to design those. Then we got the assassin character expansion. An elusive but lethal duo that excels at attacking distracted enemies. Okay. And it comes with a familiar. That's that bat with a scarf. Well, I don't know if that's really a bat, but that bat-looking thing with a scarf. So, kind of cool. So, and yeah, some quick draw skill cards. So, some things. And then there's the Beast Rider character expansion. So this is nice that there's some other characters out there that you can add into it. It's kind of cool, that wolf-like thing that he's riding. So 25 Beast Rider class cards, 14 Indomitable skill cards. Cool. Whew, we're only to the story. Wow. Thousands of years ago, in an era of long-forgotten swirling vortexes appeared across Haven. Throngs of refugees fled through these thresholds, pursued by nightmarish horrors. These were the last humans of their world, hunted to near extinction during a great conflict. Buoyed by hope of an untarnished land, these remnants of humanity rallied to vanquish the horrors and seal the thresholds. As history faded from memory, the hard-earned lessons of the past were lost to time. Greed and personal gain grew, and eventually war spread throughout the nations of Haven. Today marks 200 years of peace since the Great Haven War. People from all over have gathered to commemorate the occasion with grand summer celebration. The streets of Hearthstead are filled with folk from the Fractured Isles, Sandstone Desert, Red River Valley, Ridgeback Mountains, and beyond. But the months-long celebration of peace has been shattered. The thresholds of old have reappeared, leading to panic, confusion across all of Haven. Some brave citizens, such as yourselves, have fought back the first wave outside of the town of Bayfort. But more monsters pour out each day. The leaders of Haven Council have been quiet, huddled in secret meetings to discuss these troubling signs. Leaders and citizens alike desperately hope for heroes of the age to emerge. So, gameplay classes, choose your hero. Step into the world of Threshold as a hero of your own design. Each class offers a completely unique playstyle represented through its own deck of powerful character cards. So we have the Guardian, Frontline Warrior, Defender of Allies, Master of Melee Combat. The Guardian excels at holding the line and adapting to the flow of battle with a mix of brutal melee strikes and tactical positioning and reactive defense. Guardians are dependable anchors for any group. So they have delayed defense, set up powerful reactions to enemy movement or attacks. Momentum-based tactics combine mobility with calculated aggression and heroic support to protect allies and boost team morale with status effects and heroism. And then we have a couple examples of cards. And examples of skills: Strike, a simple 3 damage melee attack, which synergizes with other cards that call out melee attacks. Defensive stance, Slinging Blade. Again, I'm not going to read all this. There's a lot to this page. Slinging Blade. Okay. Guardians reward tactical position, patience, and explosive retaliation. The Mystic, a spellcaster, manipulator of reality, master of arcane forces. The Mystic draws power from spells. Some are precise and efficient, others overwhelming and dramatic. Whether warping at space, shielding allies, or hurling bursts of arcane energy, Mystics manipulate the battlefield with finesse. Delayed spells set up devastating turns with high-risk, high-reward effects. Cantrips, cheap spells that can be chained, drawn, or recycled for clever combos. And arcane support, heal, reposition, and shield yourself in between bursts of damage. So a couple of spells. Example skills: Pesky Ping, deal 1 damage and draw a card. Simple, efficient, and disruptive. My kind of spell. The Ethereal Shield, Arcane Convergence, Teleportation, Grand Finale, finish with a flurry of spells, dealing massive damage. Mystics reward thoughtful deck planning and skillful hand management. Hunter, unrelenting tracker, battlefield tactician, master archer. The Hunter has no equal in ranged combat. With a quiver of magically imbued arrows, the Hunter also has a solution to every situation, whether they're pinning an enemy in place, transferring its health to an ally, or simply inflicting maximum damage. Unmatched range, they can target any enemy on the battlefield with deadly precision. Stay mobile, keep your distance from enemies and avoid their attacks. And Spotter, concentrate your party's attacks by marking enemies for elimination. Okay, so some cards kind of showing those. Example skills: Closing in, deal bonus damage to an enemy that's been marked and is already wounded. Marked for death, single out an enemy for elimination by you and your allies. Parallel lives, for 1 turn, transfer 1 enemy's life force to an ally by damaging that enemy. The Hunter excels at assessing the battle and intervening from a distance. Then we have the Alchemist, adept apothecary, explosives expert, master healer. To the Alchemist, a battlefield is just another laboratory. What better place for them to test their concoctions? Whether it's with elixirs that can restore life or unstable compounds that can deal massive damage, the Alchemist can radically alter the outcome of the battle. Burn brighter and faster. Single-use effects require ending combat sooner or risk running out of cards. Generate solutions, add powerful but temporary boons to your own deck and allies' decks. battlefield medic, unparalleled healing effects that can be used on yourself or allies in combat. So there's those. Example skills, Elixir of Life. Just a sip heals a few hit points or quaff the whole potion for a full heal to your maximum health. Solution of Steel adds 3 single-use protected boons, far superior at blocking damage than normal cards. A volatile concoction, a 50-50 chance for an explosive result that stuns and damages nearby enemies. The Alchemist powerful effects require careful dex management in combat. And we have the Assassin, which is the expansion character. Elusive opponent, deadly knife thrower, master of misdirection. I will say, so far, a lot of these feel ranged. There's not a lot of, like, up-in-your-face combat with this. I mean, it's the Guardian, but that's kind of it. The Assassin keeps a low profile in the battle. That's only to enhance the crescendo of lethality they're building toward. Assisted by their familiar, the Assassin excels at attacking distracted enemies, and otherwise hardy foe may suddenly meet their untimely end when the Assassin strikes. So they have the Loyal Companion. A smaller hand size is compensated by a free companion action each turn. Flanking attacks set up flanks with your familiar or allies for bonus damage. And stash cards. All stash cards can be drawn at the start of your turn for explosive moments in combat. So, example skills. One step ahead, take a gamble on the next card in your deck and build up a secret stash of cards for a later turn. Sneak attack. Stash an attack card to set up a deadly strike against an unwilling foe in a double team. Take advantage of a distracted enemy to deal extra damage. Okay. Assassin combines battlefield positioning and explosive turns. Beast Rider. Also in the expansion characters. Fearsome duo, mobile attacker, indomitable spirit. The Beast Rider and their loyal mount rush headlong into combat with animalistic ferocity. Attacking with tooth and claw, the Beast Rider tears through foes on the battlefield, darting from one enemy to the next. Their wounds only strengthen their resolve. So they have raw strength. Drawing an extra card per turn allows for more powerful plays. Old wounds. A permanent wound is mitigated by higher health and effects that trigger off of wound cards and never stop. Deal additional damage by moving toward your foes before attacking. So, then we have some of their example skills. Reckless Romp. Plow into a hapless foe and deal bonus damage to it. Shove. Attack an enemy to push it away, allowing you to charge toward it on your next turn. Weakness into strength. Cycle through your wound cards to unlock a well of strength and stamina. The Beast Rider trades a small amount of consistency, stamina, and health for raw card advantage. You are your deck. In Threshold, your deck is your hero. Every card represents your abilities, your skills, and even the wounds you carry from battle. This deck evolves continuously based on your actions, your choices, and the challenge you overcome. So, yeah, it's a deck builder. That's what I'm getting from this, and that's how you shape it. You're gonna, much like other deck builders like Arkham Horror, the living card game, you're gonna have some negatives that can pop up in your deck. In this case, it's wounds and such. So your deck will grow and change through character. Cards tied to your class and level showcasing signature abilities. Skill. Cards unlocked through gear and skill points giving synergistic options. Wound. Cards like burning or poison inflicted on you by enemies, forcing you to adapt. Relic. Items granting powerful game-shaping abilities. Boon, cards that reflect heroic moments and rare blessings earned through great deeds. Burden, cards that reflect curses, penalties, or status effects you pick up during the campaign. Title, cards gained through renown quests that grant lasting bonuses and mark your legacy in the world. And Threshold, cards unlocked when completing epic Threshold dungeons, reshaping your style of play in profound ways. Every card you add to your deck is part of your story, a living record of triumph, loss, risk, and reward. Your deck tells who you are, where you've been, and what you still might become. So that's kind of cool. Gameplay skills. The skill system. Customize your hero with 12 unique skill groups. Threshold is built on a deep skill system inspired by our favorite ARPGs. Each skill group offers a distinct playstyle, from brutal melee strikes to tactical evasions or explosive magic. Skills are powered by the gear you equip, and no two builds are alike. How skills work. Every item has a skill points from specific skill group like pyromancy, bladecraft, or ward weaving. Equipping your gear grants you the skill points listed on that gear. Use those points to add skill cards from the associated skill group to your deck. Mix with class cards to create your ideal character build. Skill categories. Each skill group belongs to one of 4 core categories. Weapon skills, so melee and ranged attacks that scale with your gear. Magic skills, offensive and defensive spells with powerful effects. Defense skills, shields, armor, and evasive techniques. And tactical skills, utility, healing, and mobility enhancements. Interruption into this video, and the main reason being, you might notice it's now dark out. Stuff came up. I had to kind of stop where I was, and I'm just now getting back to picking it up here this evening. So let's get back to the page and such. This is a long, long page. So it's taking a bit to get through all of it. So last time, where I left off, we were in skills on your gameplay, and so we're seeing kind of there's a nice chart here where it's showing kind of the skill type, a description of what it is, and a category. So like bladecraft, fast melee strikes, finesse weapons, weapon melee. Brutality, heavy hits that crush defenses and stagger, weapon melee. So we can see what it means by you can pick up kind of these different skills or different items with different skills that will have these different effects. So I'm not going to go through all of them because I think we've kind of talked about a lot of them up above. But I feel like some of them, like sharp shot, you understand that that's precision ranged. You know, you're thinking of a sharp shooter. It makes sense. So let's keep going down. Oh my gosh, you're going to break these each down. Oh, I appreciate, again, the depth. My gosh, this is a lot to throw. And I understand because I can see over here under the rewards where it says, you know, like we're looking at like $485 for the legendary pledge. So if you're going to chill out that kind of money, you want to know exactly what you're getting. So, I have a feeling it's going to go through all of these. I'm not going to spend that much time diving through because, again, I think a lot of these are fairly common sense. You know, like this one, it's a defensive thing for players who want to be unbreakable wall and shield allies from strikes. And it gives you some examples of the different things you can do. And then we got Bladecraft, Forget the Sword Fighter. This is a lot of depth, and it's cool. It's great that they're putting this out here because, again, if you're putting in that kind of money for doing stuff like this, you want to know what you're getting, and this is great. I just feel like on your front page, this is a lot to dive into. I mean, I expect how the game plays. It gives you kind of a nice 30,000 foot view. You know, there's going to be some of the fine tuning and rules that maybe don't make it into that part that you explain elsewhere. You know, you still provide it, like watch this how to play video or read our rule book that's in draft. But this is breaking down each skill set and each class. It's a lot. I mean, so if you're really into it, it's going to be great and you read every word. And truthfully, if I wasn't making a video, I probably would read every word because I like the art. I like so far what I've seen, but we're a long ways. At least I can tell from my slider over on the side. We're mostly we're over halfway done. So sharp shot, wind weaving. But again, you can always go to the page yourself and check these out if you want to read more. Yeah, just click here to read the skill cards in PDF form. They so could have just put that under that chart and saved some space. Loot and crafting. Gaining loot. Threshold rewards you for every step of the way through both meaningful character growth and exciting item discovery. Earning loot dice. Defeated enemies and completed quests will grant you loot dice. There are 3 types of loot dice, common, uncommon, and rare. Loot dice are stored until you return to town. Rolling for gear, gold, and more. In town, roll all your collected loot dice to gain gear, gold, and crafting materials. Common and uncommon loot dice each have a chance to roll an upgrade symbol. Combine 2 upgrade symbols to increase a loot die to the next tier. Even a handful of common loot dice could lead to a powerful rare gear. Draw item cards from corresponding rarity decks according to the loot dice rolled. Loot decks are refreshed in each new region, offering higher level items. I'm just going to say, kind of like it, and I kind of don't. I like the idea of... Maybe start the other way. I don't like this because this is adding a step to it, right? I killed this monster. I get uncommon loot. Cool. But I just get a dice that I then have to go back and use, and then I roll the dice to figure out what I get. That just seems like it's adding an extra step, whereas like in most games like this, you just draw a card and, like, oh, I got uncommon, great, I draw from the uncommon deck. I get what they're trying to do, to have it be every now and then you can get an upgrade, and that, common goes to uncommon, or that uncommon goes to rare. I get that. That's a neat little twist. I think you can also do that with cards. You just put that in one of the cards you draw. Upgrade. And you could just put enough in. Yeah. I just think there's a different way to do it that it subtracts a step, because this feels like you're adding an extra step to it. And maybe it runs really smoothly. I also don't like that you have to wait till you get back to town. Because the cool thing about a game like Diablo or that is you shoot something, you get gear, and you can apply it right away if you can tell that it's really good. I also understand that there are some of those games where you collect a bunch of new loot, new gear, and you need to take a break to figure out what you got and what's the best. Okay. So, item affixes. Certain item cards allow for an affix to be slotted into it. In order to craft an affix, you must visit an enchanter and exchange jewel fragments. Item affixes are transparent cards that are sleeved into item cards. Yeah, we kind of talked about that, and I kind of figured out. So here it's showing it has a spot, and then you can add this of precognition and gain 1 magic to it, which is cool. I like it. That's a neat feature of this. We have relics. Rare loot may reveal relics. Legendary items with build-changing effects. Each relic includes a special relic ability card that is added to your deck. These cards can shape your character's playstyle introducing new combos or entirely new mechanics. Okay. Vocations and crafting. Beyond the quest and combat, you can gather resources, learn trades, and craft powerful gear to evolve your hero, support your party. Collect and create, harvest minerals, gather supplies, or hunt rare resources in the overworld. Almost said otherworld. Overworld. Bring them back to town to forge weapons, brew potions, and weave enchanted gear that gives your deck new strengths. Each recipe you learn becomes a new action you can take while exploring the overworld. Grow your craft. Every recipe you complete earns vocation points, pushing you further down the path of mastery. As you advance, you unlock stronger recipes, rare items, and unique ways to support your allies. Choose your vocation. Heroes can specialize in 1 of 4 vocations, each shaping how they contribute beyond combat. So our vocations, we have a herbalist, brews potions and tonics to heal wounds and restore clarity and keep your allies in fighting shape. A blacksmith forges weapons and armor, refine minerals into gear, and strengthen your party with durable upgrades. Burglar, master tools of trickery from picking locks and slipping past dangers, and craft items that turn risk into reward. And captain, rally your allies with crafted tactics, battle standards, and supplies that make your team stronger. I'm not going to lie, those last 2 feel a little weak. You know, a captain really isn't somebody who crafts things. You don't craft tactics. That's a nitpicky comment, but it feels like they wanted more crafting things, but didn't know what else to use, so they kind of worked these in. Yeah. Gameplay Overworld. The Overworld. Threshold's Overworld is divided into 4 with expansion, vast regions, each with its own quests, enemies, and secrets to uncover. Well, we have the Fractured Isles, a land of prosperity and trade, makes natural target for invaders. We have the Sandstone Desert. We've seen these before. The Red Cat River Valley. Oh, they changed it. It went from the Red River Valley to the Red Cat River Valley. Clearly, they didn't like the jokes I was making about it containing the city of Fargo. And the Ridgeback Mountains. Previously thought, yeah, we've seen all of that. There's our overworld boards. Your deck drives your actions. Every card you discard is a step on the road, a swing of the pickaxe, or a coin spent at a marketplace. The same deck that fuels combat also powers exploration, making every decision matter. Interesting, I wonder how that works. Adventures and Landmarks. Draw adventure cards to uncover short stories and tough choices. Repair a farmer's cart in the prairies, chase relics through the desert ruins, or track whispers along the riverbanks. Landmarks let you shop, heal, craft, and gain renown, weaving your hero deeper into each region's story. Dynamic region events. At the end of each round, roll the region die. Maybe mobs advance towards your party. Maybe a new adventure card is drawn. Maybe nothing happens this time. Each region shifts under your feet, keeping the overworld alive and predictable. Freedom to play your own way. Whether you want a quick supply run or an hours-long questing session, the overworld adapts to your time and style. Travel, gather, craft, chase renown, or plunge straight into danger. The world responds to your choices across all 3 regions. Okay, well, that was a nice short section. Great. Combat. Fast, tactical, and deck-driven. I think we kind of already understand how this goes, but Threshold's combat zooms into a hex-based battle map where every card you play and every card you discard shapes the fight. Your deck is your weapon, your defense, and your stamina all at once. Oh, part of what has made this whole review longer is I'm fighting a bit of a cold and diminished air, so every few paragraphs of talking I have to stop and cough, so it's slowing me down. Hopefully I've edited out most of those so you haven't noticed. You're welcome. Card choices with consequences. Each hand is a puzzle. Will you unleash a powerful attack or discard it to move, block, or pay for another card? Tactics on every turn. Position yourself to strike, manage fatigue, and adapt to the enemy's moves. Fights reward clever timing and smart sequencing. Positioning is power. Combat plays out on a hex-based map. We got that. It's a hex-based map with clear range zones. Where you stand matters. Close the gap for melee combos, hold the distance for spells and arrows, or retreat to regroup. Location is everything. Yeah, that's kind of common sense. Fatigue and wounds. Run your deck too thin and fatigue creeps higher. Push too far and wounds slip into your deck, weakening your draws and threatening to topple your hero. Survival means balancing power with endurance. Enemies. Threshold's enemies are designed to create tense, tactical, and memorable encounters that grow with your party's power. I have a feeling we're going to learn all about these monsters. Again. Fiends are essence-twisted nightmares drawn from rifts across Haven. They are unpredictable, violent, and infamous for spreading burning effects and wear heroes down over time. Facing fiends means constant pressure to manage both damage and creeping threat of fire. We have the Masked Imp. Cunning quick, Masked Imp darts across the battlefield to ignite heroes before retreating into the chaos. They thrive on harassment and disruption, forcing you to deal with them or risk burning life. Oh man, they're going to make me do this for all of them. Masked Demon. The Masked Demon unleashes waves of destructive fire, punishing clusters of heroes and amplifying burning effects that thrives on chaos and escalating small sparks into raging infernos. Okay, there's a lot of flavor text, so I'm just going to keep on going. And we've seen these all before. And we got the Masked Judge. We got the Sentinels. I think we've even read stuff about them in the first part of this video. So I'm kind of going fast through this because, again, I feel like we're seeing all of this again. Brute, the Warlord. Got it. Threshold dungeons. Okay, this is something new. Threshold dungeons are the ultimate test of skill and endurance. Each region hides a threshold, a strange and volatile rift where reality twists and monsters spill through. Inside, heroes face 3 escalating combat encounters back to back, with only a short rest between battles. Every room comes with unique objectives and hazards, forcing players to adapt under mounting pressure. The final chamber is a boss arena with its own special rules, warding signals, collapsing floors, or other mechanics that change the flow of combat. Surviving these gauntlets in one of the most demanding challenges Threshold offers. Rewards. The first time your party completes a Threshold dungeon, each hero chooses a powerful Threshold card to add to their deck. These cards are game-changing abilities that permanently expand how your character plays. So that's kind of cool. Multiplayer social play. Threshold's Discord integration transformed the board game into a persistent MMO-like community experience. While the core game is played at the table, Discord adds the optional living world layer that keeps players connected, progressing and completing tunes. Okay, guilds. Guilds are, player-created mini-communities of up to 30 members. They exist outside the box as part of the Threshold Discord community and give players a way to organize roleplay and progress together. I'm not really interested in the Discord, but looks like they have this whole Discord social media kind of thing going on. And now you can play it on Tabletop Simulator. All right, we're into the rewards. The reward comparison, the Threshold reward, the Vanguard reward, the Heroic rewards, and the Legendary rewards. Threshold, looks like you get with all of them. The stretch goals you get with all of them. The Assassin expansion you get with the last 3. Beast expansion of the last 3. Last Stand expansion of the last 3. Enemy miniatures or acrylic sanities, your choice with the last 2. Neoprene combat mats. Fancy dice. Dice trays. Metal coins. So yeah, if you get that one, you get everything. Add-ons can be individually selected. Hey, we're into the rewards. So the Legendary Miniatures reward is $485. It saves you $100. Gets you Threshold Enemy Miniatures expansion and everything we offered during the campaign, plus all of the applicable unlocked stretch goals. So that's kind of your everything pledge with miniatures. You can get the base game, and just the base game, for $130. Which that is pricey. However, I recently reviewed the Doom Kickstarter, the Doom Arena board game Kickstarter. And there, you had basically 2 versions of the game, and each one was worth $60. So, in theory, and that's a game that's supposed to be quick, 3 quick rounds. This, so it was 50 plus some hours. So, I mean, yeah, the price for content, supposedly. It's there. It just seems like a lot because it's a big game. The Vanguard, which saves you $60, gets you Threshold, all gameplay expansions, and all the stretch goals. The Heroic Acrylic Standees for $245, which saves you $70, gets you Threshold, all gameplay expansions, acrylic standees, upgrade, and all applicable stretch goals. And you can get the Heroic Miniatures, which saves $70 and gets you all Threshold gameplay expansions, enemy miniature expansion, and all applicable unlocked stretch goals. This is probably, if I were to go in on this, probably the range I'd be in, because I'd want all the expansions, and I'd want miniatures. That's just me. And then there's the Legendary one, which we kind of already saw, which is everything. And that has a lot of nice upgrades, but I'd probably pass on those just due to the expense of the game. And then the add-ons, which are, what we've kind of seen and can expect. Yeah, the enemy miniatures are just $60. Neoprene combat mats are $50. Deluxe dice. Yeah. mostly just add-ons, some custom sleeves, a notebook if you wish to take notes, an art book. There. Next to unlock is raid and title card, a new quest line, renown and title expense, expanded adventure cards, and threshold cards. We've already unlocked threshold dungeon and threshold cards, relic item and ability cards, upgraded cloth bag, a new vocation, mounts, expanded sentinel and beast enemy decks, and fiend and bandit enemy decks, expanded skill cards, expanded skill cards, expanded skill cards, okay, last skill cards. We got the beasts in there and some in-game stuff. Highlights: new stretch goals unlock every 4th day, plus additional ones will unlock at specific funding milestones. So yeah, endgame was kind of right up the get-go. This is kind of working us back through all of the ones that they just showed. Okay, so Plated Warren, the Midnight Serpent. Hey, I got that one right. There's a Beast Boss. Spin of class cards. 1 new class card for all 6 classes. 2 copies of new skill card for, yeah. So kind of doubling it up so you can have more people go into those things. Seems to be what kind of all those are. Expanded enemy decks. New vocation. There's that cloth bag. There's the mounts. Yeah. We got new relic and some previews. So if all of this was not enough, there are a couple of preview YouTube videos that you can go out and see exactly how to play through this. Let's keep going down. We get into the quick save tray system. Don't know why it's all the way down here. Threshold can be set up and packed away in minutes using our integrated tray system. So there's a region tray that kind of holds everything for the region, a player tray that holds all of your kind of player stuff, and I like that it has dials so that you can save some of this info on it. That's pretty cool. Plus enemy tray and a card storage solution. And there's just a video showing everything can set up in 90 seconds. And then we have kind of the myth drop. So yeah, if you want them shaded. So it's just showing kind of the standard miniature versus the myth drop shading, which is really just applying a wash to it. Woo. And then we get into all of our shipping rates and about the team. And I think that's about it. All right. Woo. Let's do some final thoughts on this monster of a campaign. Whew. Threshold probably pushed me towards the threshold of how long I'm willing to spend on one of these videos for a campaign. There is a lot on that page, and I get it. You're trying to convince somebody to shell out anywhere from $130 to $485. You want people to make sure that they know what they are getting into. My view of it, though, is that your page is supposed to be it's supposed to be an appetizer, and not like we have appetizers now where you spend just about as much as an entree for 4 mozzarella sticks. No, we're saying that this is it's supposed to be a taste so that you can really get a feel for, do I want to know more about this game, and am I interested in backing it, and all of that. And my thing with this is that there's just so much. While I'm very interested in it, finding the time to sit down and read through all of that is a bit daunting. And I would like more kind of summaries. I would like that page to have just been edited down a little bit better, and even edited in a way where some of your stuff was all together. I felt like there were things that they would mention way up here, and you come back down here and it's like, well, here, let's dive into that and repeat a lot of the information we put up there. So you're having to read it twice. And, when people have to read it twice, you saw me kind of do it where I was like, well, we know this. So we'll just sort of kind of go through it real quick, and we might be missing something really cool or obvious. So those are my kind of nitpicking gripes. The game itself looks very interesting. As I said, I've been looking for kind of one of these big open world type adventures. I've missed out on Gloomhaven and Frosthaven. I didn't have the funds at the time to really put forth towards that. Oathsworn is another one that kind of fell in that same thing. And there's been a couple of others that have come up, and they look interesting. They look like they're one of these that could be kind of a big, kind of long adventure sort of thing. And it's just been a little hard to pull the trigger. Unfortunately, big games like this come with big price tags. And it means eating up a lot of the hobby budget. And so I really want to find the right one to pull the trigger on. So with this, maybe. I'm not going to say a no. I just I'm gonna have to look at the old hobby budget and see where I fall, and maybe go back and read through all that stuff I kind of skipped over and watch some of the videos just to get a feel. So color me interested. I just don't know that it's a 100% sale at this point. And the other thing that I really don't like is when they put stuff in there, and there was stuff in there about how buy it now because you might not be able to get it at retail. Well, I might not have the money at this point. I might have to buy, like if I was in, I'd maybe get just the very base, but I don't know. It feels like then you're missing a lot of gameplay, and I think that it would feel very samey. That would be maybe my other critique of it. It feels very much like if all you got was the base, it's like you get these 4 characters. You only get these few enemy types. It's a 50-hour campaign. You're gonna get bored. For instance, I'm gonna compare it to something else. The D&D adventure board game system, if anyone else is familiar with that. In that, with the whole campaign, which, there's, 8 to 10 scenarios in there, which could easily, so we're talking, 8 to 10 hours of gameplay in that. But you only got so many enemies with that box, and so after you've played through them enough, you get tired because I've dealt with this. Or you really slow roll it out there, but you end up fighting the same things. A friend of mine, we played Privateer Press's Widow's Wood. We played the whole campaign, and that was kind of the problem. It was fighting a lot of Gatormen, with the occasional big monster in there to kind of break it up. But it felt very samey. That was a bit of a slog to get through, just because it limited the number of variety of enemies. And so I worry about that with this game, that if I were just to go in on the base, I'd be missing, like I think it would get very dull. I think I'd have a hard time getting it to the table. So I worry about the variety in it. And of course, there's still time, more stretch goals to be unlocked. It could get better, but right now, just in this quick view, that's my biggest concern, and probably what makes me the most hesitant on it. But as I always say with these, this is my first time looking at it, and a very quick, I say very quick because the sun has literally gone down over the course of this video, very quick review. So as always, if you've seen something in here, you think I'm wrong, hey, put it in the comments. Maybe there's something that you like that you really want to point out. Make sure that you put those in there as well, because again, sometimes it's easy to get focused on the negative. There are positives. There are definitely positives. I like the art style. I love the deck building mechanic. I do enjoy a good deck builder, and I like how this one works. It reminds me a little bit of Arkham Horror: The Living Card Game, which I absolutely love and adore. So there's some really good things. I like the idea that as you get gear, it helps build your deck. That's a cool take. There really are some things in here that have me intrigued. I just don't know if it's got me intrigued at this price tag. But that, again, trying to say the good along with the negative. So again, please put your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I've chatted with some people quite frequently after these come out. Some folks are always kind enough to make comments, and I always like to hop in and respond and sometimes they make very valid points that I can't help but agree with. So leave those comments there. If you happen to make it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. Greatly appreciated. As I always say, we're a small YouTube channel, so if y'all care to see more and would like to give us a like and subscribe, that's great. You don't have to, but it's always appreciated. And with that, it is late. This review took me way too long. I need to go to bed, so I'm going to call it a night, but I'm looking forward to catching all of you back down here in the cave again next time. Good night, everybody.